Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I hope you're having a great day. My name is Brian, and welcome to Autobahn Investing. I am super pumped to share some of this stuff with you this morning. The update on the watch list from earlier in the week. I've got a new stock to add to the watch list today that is starting to move as we speak, and I think will continue to move into the afternoon and well into next week. So I think it's like the ground floor of that opportunity right now. We'll talk a little bit about Ethereum and where I see that going. And then, of course, I got to talk about Virgin Galactic because, yes, Wednesday I posted like what needs to happen for that Wednesday to be a total head fake. And sure as heck, Thursday got that head fake. It was total head fake. It was looking like today was going to be a big move. And the PR team over there at Virgin Galactic or somebody over there, I don't know, screwed it up. And now it's gone down again. And so is the game over for Virgin Galactic? You guys know I'm heavily invested in that. Is the game over, or are we still just in a pause button? We're going to talk about that. So anyway, got a lot to talk about. Can't wait to jump in. If you feel so inclined, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the little bell next to it so you're notified of future videos. And yeah, let's just get going. Okay, let's start off with the news on Bitcoin this morning. Woke up to hearing about this, and it was played on CNBC too. Miami votes to study using Bitcoin for employees' salaries and payments to City Hall. This is actually the first, and maybe I'm missing something, but this is the first I've seen a government entity talking about Bitcoin. Miami City Hall could begin conducting some of its financial transactions in Bitcoin. City commissioners voted late Thursday night at the request of the mayor to study the use of crypto and look for a vendor to help with transactions. Should the commission approve a contract down the road, employees would have an option to receive all or part of their salaries in Bitcoin, and the public would have a Bitcoin option while paying for city services. Okay, so this is huge news. This is huge news. This is one of many city councils, counties, government agencies that are going to start looking at the use of Bitcoin. Maybe this is the first to really announce it. Maybe it's not. Maybe I've missed something. And this is just being airplay given what else is going on with Bitcoin this week. But this is, you cannot underestimate just how big this is for a government entity to say that you can pay taxes or employees can get paid or pay for city services with a currency other than the national currency of the United States of America. Now, this doesn't say they're going to do it. This just says we're going to study it. No problem. And it's, you know how governments work. It's going to take a long time to study it, right? But you cannot underestimate just how big of a deal this is. So what's it doing to Bitcoin? Bitcoin's still bumping up against that $48,000 mark. It cleared it a couple days ago. This is the 4-hour chart, and that big candle on what looks like February 11th, February 12th. No, what am I looking at here? No, I'm sorry. This is the candle I'm talking about on Monday when Elon Musk announced. God, it's been a long week. When Elon Musk announced that $1.5 billion, and it's sort of been trending up a little bit, bouncing off of that blue line, hitting that as support and climbing back up. Certainly looks like it wants to move over 50,000 in the short term. And this newest little candle going on up against 47,739 as I record this, at least over on Crypto Watch, is pretty interesting. But what I'm really excited about is not Bitcoin, it's Ethereum. Again, this is the 4-hour chart on Ethereum. And Ethereum is up to 1825, breaking through that 1800 mark. And you can see it's doing it with conviction on volume, clearing what has been that $1,800 resistance level for the last couple of days. And it looks like it'll be looking to hit an all-time high at some point. I do think this is going to 2,000 in the short term. I've said on this channel before, I think this hits 4,500 in the month of February, which is what, 2 weeks away. I think that alt season is here. We've got Litecoin up over 190. We've got XRP, which has had challenges over 50, well over 50 now, 50 cents. These are huge moves going on. So yes, I think Bitcoin is going up. I just think the altcoins are going to play a catch-up move now and start moving up faster. I don't think you can go wrong with either. You feel more comfortable in Bitcoin, putting a little bit of money in that, knock yourself out. If you feel more comfortable wanting to hit for the fences and put something in the altcoins, knock yourself out. I do both. Personally, I've got both. But Ethereum resonates with me. There's utility to it, and it is the Mac Daddy of the altcoins. And you know, quality has a tendency to win the day. So that's where we're at with crypto for the time being. Let's talk about some of this, my watch list from earlier in the week. Crowdstrike's having a hell of a day. Talked about this a couple days ago. It's nice setup. Yesterday had a nice candle. Looked for confirmation of that today, and we got it. I think this is going over 250 in the next couple days at a minimum. On its way to 300 is the next stopping price on this. So is it too late to get in? Absolutely not. We might see a pullback to this open, and what that breakout move from yesterday is, that 235 area. Would not surprise me if we try to bounce off of the 235 to 237, see a little bit of a test of that support now that it's cleared it. Anything close to that, and I'm going all in on that one, because I do think this is a $300 stock in the short term. Okay, XPeng is the next one. I talked about this one. It is yet to move. This is still something I watch very closely. It has flatlined for the better part of 2.5 months now. Consolidation has occurred, or is occurring. It's still in that consolidation zone. It has trended below its 50-day moving average. We'll look to see if that can reclaim. It can reclaim that. Volume has all but dried up, meaning sellers are gone. And just looking for some buy side to come into this name and push it up over that. Now the real test will be around that $59 mark as the next level of resistance, and it could hit new highs if it clears that with conviction. But in the short term, really wanting to see it clear 50 on volume in the near term. Well, first to clear the 50-day moving average. Once it does that, I think it's a quick move to 50. If it clears 50 with conviction, then it's a quick move to 60. That's how I'm looking at that. QuantumScape had a nice, and I'll just update this because I updated it on my watch list earlier in the week, is having a great move today, up over like almost 20%. An analyst came out with a buy side on this one and a price target well north of where it is. I think with QuantumScape, it's interesting, right? A huge move today, 20%. But if you look, it's not. It's come down from north of 125 at the end of the year. So a huge retracement, flatlined around this $40, $45 mark. And now it's interesting because on the daily chart, this candle this morning has cleared this previous short-term high around the high of around $50.33. So we're wanting that number to hold, that $50 mark to hold. It might come back down and retest that in the next couple days. But if it does and that holds, then this gap is what I'm looking to see filled in short order around 84 to 84.50 kind of thing is what I'm shooting for in the short term. I did get into this name this morning on some call options. ADTX, I bought in yesterday morning. I talked about this in a video saying adding this to the watch list. It had a nice move up in the morning. It came down, and when it started moving back up, I got in on options. I sold at 90% gain of those yesterday, a couple hours later. I don't like to hold things that short a time frame. I don't like the day trading stigma associated with buying and selling it on the same day. I just, and maybe I got out of this too early. It gapped down well this morning. It looks like it's trying to climb back up. But, like I said in my earlier video, this was a lottery ticket for me, and 90% gain was just too good to pass up in a single day, so I got rid of it. Nio Limited. Look, we had some nice action on this on Tuesday, and it's retraced from that, hitting down to trading below 60 today. Look, it's too early to get in this one, but I am definitely keeping this on my watch list. That bar right there, this is about 62.84. call it 63 for good measure, is the resistance level. I want to see it clear that on conviction. It's going straight to 70 in my opinion if it clears that with conviction. So I'm very much watching that level on Nio. Look, Palantir I love because Palantir, I'm a big fan of Peter Thiel. I've been following Peter Thiel for many years now. The PayPal mafia knows how to make money. Just ask Elon Musk, who comes from that cohort. But if you don't know what the PayPal mafia is, look it up. It's the senior leadership team of PayPal back in the day has gone on to do some absolutely amazing things, and Peter Thiel is one of them. The price action this week has not been great. However, if you pull out and look at the last couple months, it is doing exactly what I would want this security to be doing, and in terms of a setup right now. That $32 mark is that 32? Let me clear this little nugget here. Yeah, this right here, this $32 mark, it's support, and it's come down. I just messed that up, didn't I? It's come down and hit that 32. What am I doing here? That $32 mark, and it's hit it once, came back up, and then now it looks like it's coming back down to try to hit it again. What we want here is a double bounce. I call it a double tap. I don't know what the right technical term for it is, but a double tap on that support will in turn make that support be very strong. And if it pulls back up to that, I think it's going well past 40. So in anticipation of that, I'm watching this like a hawk. Maybe it goes a little bit lower. I'll pull it up on the daily right now for you. But here it goes. It's looking like it's going to go trying to push lower as we speak or as I record this. But look, the bottom line is it's hitting that 32. It might trade below a little bit here, and I'm going to try to get in on this, especially if it has a big move down. Look, it can trade below the 32. I just don't want it to close below 32. So as we go into the rest of the day, I'm going to be trying to get into this at as low a price I can, and I hope I can do it. But I don't think Palantir is a name that should be taken off the watch list right now. If anything, I think it's providing the perfect setup for a big move in the next couple weeks. I don't want to play short-term strike prices on this. I don't want to play like a next Friday strike on this, but certainly a March or April strike on something like this, I think could pay off real big. INO, I was saying earlier in the week, I was playing the bounce. It was coming back down to that buy side at 1250. I got in looking for a move. I was looking for a move over 14 on short term. Got it over 15 this morning. I sold this position this morning. I'm real pleased with that exit. Will it go higher to test the $17 mark? It certainly could. The action today, and again, I'll pull up that daily chart, is it had a nice just sort of bump in the morning, tried to come up and break up through that again, and has been trading sort of sideways since. Looks like maybe it's turning around now, but I am now out of this name. I got the bounce I was looking for, and that's that. Okay, so let's talk about space. A couple days ago, I said this candle right here was a mess, and it's going to shake out a lot of people. I'm actually surprised the volume on that day wasn't larger than it was, since that indicated to me that the sellers are really absent from this name. So one of three things could have happened, and I was looking for a bounce over 55 on the next day, Thursday, yesterday, and or was it going to continue this trend down? And it could have been, it's a coin toss at that point. So Virgin comes out with a tweet. This was about 18 hours ago, I think. This was yesterday, and the move started at this point. But it says the team has loaded 3 payloads from the NASA Flight Opportunities Program into Spaceship Two's Unity cabin ahead of our test flight window opening this week. Great. Stock started moving, and it hit over 60 yesterday. It moved over 60 bucks. It didn't close there. It closed at 59. So I'm sitting here thinking, look, that $59 mark was the highest close it's ever been. And so looking into this morning going, oh, glory days, here we go. Let's hit the amp up, turn up the classic rock, get the Bob Seger on, pour me a beer, and let's watch the action today. This is going to be great. And then, no, the PR team over at Virgin decides to tweet again. What do they say this time? Flight test update. We've been progressing through our pre-flight preparations, and during that process, we have decided to allow more time for technical checks. We are working to identify the next flight opportunity. So this text came out 5 hours later. So 14 hours they went from locked and loaded to we're going to do more testing. We don't feel real comfortable. And so look, tell your girlfriend on Thursday that you're going to take her to Tahiti on Saturday, and it's going to be the vacation of a lifetime. She's going to go out shopping. She's going to buy new clothes. She's going to do this and this and this. And then tell her 14 hours later that you got too much work to do, that you can't go. Well, make no mistake, she's going to be pissed. And that is what happened this morning. Now, the interesting thing is, to me, is big gap down, expected, came down to around the 52.50 mark. For Van Halen fans, 51.50 would have been better, I guess, but we'll go with 52.50. So, and now it's been trending up for the rest of the day. Now over that $55 mark. I'm not looking for this gap to be filled today. What I am looking for is a close over 55. I want to see that close over 55, and I want to see that because if we go to the 6 month and we change this thing to the weekly candles, that's what we end up with. We're looking at 54 was last week's close. I want to see it close above that this week. I do not want to see it break down, but it could break down, like I said earlier, all the way down to 32, and this chart still very much be intact. If, and I don't know, I don't have any knowledge of what goes on at Virgin Galactic. I don't know anything. But if they were smart and they were really confident in this test launch that's coming up, what I would want to see them do is put Richard Branson in the cockpit on that to ride along with it. That will change the game if they do that on this test flight. That will make national news. That will be on every newspaper. CNBC will be taking pictures of it and showing it every hour on the hour. You know, Richard, or what's his name, Kramer, Richard Kramer. Kramer will be talking about it on Mad Money. And so it'll get so much publicity that it'll make this test flight delay thing that they're talking about that makes no sense, with no timeline, with no real detail behind it. We'll throw that out the window and put some real juice in this. So what do I think? I think we're getting a gift right now. I really think we're getting a gift right now. I think now is the time to buy. Do not anticipate. This is not a trade to make and think you're going to sell it Monday for a huge gain. I would have said yesterday that with the action to buy in yesterday, and you'd be able to sell it Monday for a huge gain. I do think this is a longer term play. I think this is a north of $100 stock by the end of this year. I'm a big believer. I have so much conviction in Virgin Galactic not because of the space tourism thing. I think that this is like Tesla to me. Everybody's talked about Tesla as a car company and comparing it to GM and Ford and blah, blah, blah. And you can never get their head around the ratio, the PE ratio on Tesla until they figured out that it's so much more than a car company. It's so much more. And to compare it to Ford is like comparing a dandelion that's growing in the cemetery to a bouquet of roses that come out of some, huge florist, right? So it's not even worth comparing, right? I think the same as Virgin Galactic. I think people are thinking it's a space tourism company. I think it's masquerading right now as a $55 stock, and this is really a several $100 stock. Once people start figuring out what this thing is really all about, and I'm really excited for that. But it clearly is going to grind, and it requires a little bit of patience. So now let's talk real quick, and I know I'm bumping up against time limits here, but let's talk real quick about one stock that I've added to the watch list today, and that is LI Auto. I've been a big fan of this company for a long time. I followed it. The setup right now that's going on is glorious. You look at this, and you got the 50-day moving average at about 32 or so. It's trading right now at 32.50 and clearing that today. I'm looking for a close above that 50-day moving average. If you look at it on the 1 day, it looks like, man, that was a huge move today. I got in down here, by the way, this morning. It looked like a huge move up here to like the 32.25. It's only up 0.5%, but I do think if you take a look at the 1 year, what we're looking at here is we want to first see, similar to one of the ones we talked about stocks we talked about earlier, right? Nio, I think it was. I want to see a clear today of the 50-day. I'm into it now, anticipating that move that will close above the 50-day. And then in short order, I want to see this right here, this resistance taken out at the 36.75. If that 36.75 is taken out, then the next logical thing to happen is to fill the gap to 44. And so I'm playing this in the short term with March strike price options, $35 calls. I think they were 35. Yeah, $35 calls with a 319 expiration. I bought in this morning, and they're only up 10% from where I bought. I got in at 257. Current price right now on Robinhood is 284. So that's how I'm playing that. I'm looking for what would end up being a $10 or so move in that to the 44 strike price, and that would represent, if that happened on expiration, a $9 gain on that, absent my $2.50. It's about a what is that? Close to a 4x gain on it if that happens. And I'm going to be patient with this. I'm going to wait a couple weeks because I think this is going to take some time to happen. I think today what needs to happen is to stay above that 50-day. Then sometime next week, maybe the week after, to clear this 36.75 mark. And then I think if it does that, then I think we're hitting up against that. We're closing that gap of 44 real quick by sometime in March. If that happens sooner than later, I'll sell half of my position at the 44 and let the rest ride and play with the house's money. So anyway, that's what I got. Wow, I know I spent a lot of time, 20 minutes already. Sorry about that. It took longer than I had hoped. But I had a lot to talk about. Look, I hope you have a very good weekend. I'm going to be building some further watch lists this weekend to talk about on Monday. I might try to record that on Sunday. Look, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a dude with a computer that really likes talking about this stuff. So please don't buy or sell anything just because I said so. That would be, quite frankly, stupid. Do your own research. Figure out your own conviction. You need to do that anyway so you can hold through tough times or sell when it's right, when it hits your price, because discipline always rules the day. And the only way to get discipline is to do your own research. So please do your own research and don't buy or sell anything just because I said so. And if you would like to subscribe, I'd really appreciate that, and hit that notification button for future videos. And I really appreciate you guys listening to all of this because I've talked a lot today. And I hope you have a great weekend. And of course, by great, I do mean profitable. Thanks, and have a great weekend.